She swims up to the top of the lake and over to land quickly. She crawls onto land, coughing up water and pounding on her chest. When she got all the water out of her system, she stood up and looked around and grinned. Well, I'm back. I need to remember my name and how long have I been gone. It's felt like years. Ignoring what her name was at this moment, she looks around and sees a dock and a small boating building. She walks up to it and kicks the door open, looking around for any weapons that she could use to slash her throat, choke, and or stab. She finds fishing line and a few fishing hooks. She couldn't find anything else that was important. She did see some wood oars and a wood boat that was missing a lot of wood. She stuffs the line into her pockets and puts 2 of the hooks in her sleeves and two at the tip of her shoes. She walks out and there's a white old man wearing glasses, a ragged jeans, and a ripped up t-shirt, holding a shotgun up to her face. "What are you doing in my boathouse?" Instantly, she was scared that he was going to shoot her. "I'm sorry, sir, I didn't take anything, I swear." He looks at her with squinting eyes, not believing her. "Go on and get. Don't come back, you hear?" She walked away, slowly turning her head to make sure he put down the gun or turned his back. When she looked back, he was still staring at her. So she looked forward and took a few steps and turned around again. This time he turned, walking to his house a slight distance away from the boathouse. She didn't notice at first that a brand new looking house was sitting there, shining like golden diamonds. She ran up behind the old man, pulling out the fishing line without thinking. She put it around the front of his neck and strangled him until he stopped breathing. She picked up the shotgun and kicked the old man over to the side of the lake, picked him up and threw him in, watching him sink. She walked up to the house smiling with bloodlust in her eyes. Her first kill was invigorating, even though it was an old man. She got to the front door and kicked in the door and looks around. The lights were very shiny. Picture of 3 people, the old man and 2 other females, 1 young, 1 old. Good for her, the home was only 1 story high. She walked through the living room and no one was there, so she moved to the kitchen. There was a old lady and a young lady cooking and wearing cooking aprons, brown pants and blue shirts. The young girl had long brown hair and the old lady had blonde short hair. The old lady and the young lady were cutting up vegetables when she snuck up behind the young one and shot her in the back, injuring her as she hit the floor, bleeding out and screaming. The old lady turned around slowly, and she had the shotgun up to the old lady's face, the old lady's head, and pulled the trigger, blowing the old lady's brains all over the walls without any hesitation at all. The old lady's body fell on top of the young woman, laying on the floor, bleeding out. She walked over and grabbed a knife and back over to the young woman, got down on her knees, and skinned the young woman alive until her screams died out. She stood up and stared at the 2 dead women lay dead in a pool of their combined blood. On the wall, the old lady's brain and the blood of the young lady covered the wall, getting over all the vegetables. That was a bloody end. She laughed and giggled. She dragged the bodies out to the lake, throwing them into the lake, and watched them sink like the old man as she laughed and giggled. She threw the shotgun into the lake as well and held the knife, walking away towards the city, covered in blood.